just pretend that she's not there. She's just doing something for me. And you can just pretend that she's not here. Okay? Sound good?
Yeah.
Or do you need help opening the copy? Okay. Let's, here, I'm going to help you just so that we can get started, okay? All right, so today we are going to be learning about greater than, less than, equal to. Now, we've already learned about those words before, but now we're going to learn about some symbols that represent those words. Okay? So before we do that, though, I want to bring us to a little bit of mental math. So this says, which number is smaller, 40 or 39? So with a raised hand, I would like you to tell me which one is smaller and how you know. Lily.
39, because 39 is in the 30s, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. 3 is smaller than 4, so I know 30 is smaller than 40.
I agree. What Lily was saying was that she was looking at the tens, which is a strategy that we have learned already. She's looking at the tens and comparing those two numbers. She knew that 3 tens was less than 4 tens, so she knew automatically, right away, that 39 is smaller than 40. All right, with a raised hand, which number is greater, 29 or 30? Lily O'Toole?
30.
You go. Take care. Thank you. You said 30 is greater. How did you know that?
Because if you look at the tens, there's only 2 tens and 29, and there's 3 tens and 30.
I agree. You know 3 tens is more than 2 tens. We both use the same strategy for each of these questions, and I'm sure that we could probably use it for this one. But this word is a little bit different. This is smallest. When you're given the word smallest, it means the absolute smallest, which means the small number out of all of these numbers. You're going to compare all 3 numbers, and you're going to pick the one that is the smallest. There's only one answer. Sawyer, can you help me out? Which number is the smallest? These 3 numbers.
56.
56. How did you know that? Because I agree with you.
Smaller than 60.
Great job. 50 is smaller than 60. 5 tens is less than 6 tens. How about this one? What is the greatest? Remember, in a group of 3, there's only one number for the greatest or the biggest. Christopher?
98.
98. How did you know that?
Because if you compare 89 and 98, you know that 8 is not bigger than 9.
I agree. How did you know that 90 was less than 98? Because those both have the same tens.
Because 98 has 8 ones.
Oh, so when you picture in your mind maybe some digiblocks or another type of picture, you're thinking, oh, 9 tens are in both numbers, but this number has no ones and this number has 8 ones. Good. Now we're going to continue to compare some numbers by organizing them biggest to smallest. Or, nope, we're going to begin with the smallest on this one. So, can someone tell me which one is the smallest and how do you know? Vigo?
50.
50. How did you know that?
Because it's only a 10 and the other one is 59, which more. And you
Yeah.
have 5 more ones and 90.
I agree. Another raised hand to tell me what's the next smallest number. What's the next smallest number? You grab a paper towel and make it a little wet and put it on your eye. Emma, what's the next smallest number?
59.
59. Someone else, please raise your hand to tell me why Emma is correct. Prove that Emma is correct, Lily.
Because if you have 95 and 59, the tens are different. We know that 5 tens is smaller than 9. So, and the same thing with 90, so we know that it would be 95.
Great. Rory, can you tell me what comes next in this list if we're going smallest to largest?
95.
95?
Huh?
I'm hearing some Can someone raise their hand and tell me why are you saying Why are you saying Emma?
Because it's got ones.
Oh, it has ones.
So
Okay. So Rory, do you want to change your answer?
90.
You want to put 90 and then you want to put 95? Okay, great. So here we have two pictures, and we have to fill out some information. It says, here's our picture, and here's our picture. Can someone raise their hand and tell me how many yellow cubes are there? How many yellow cubes? Christopher?
21.
2 tens, 1 1. Okay. How many green blocks are there? How many green blocks are there? How many green blocks are there? Sawyer, what do you think? How many green blocks?
12.
Oh, I see 1 10 and I see 2 ones. I agree, that is 12. 2 tens is, do we think, show me on your hands, 1 is greater, 2 is less than. Do you think 2 tens is greater than or less than 1 10? Greater than or less than? Show me on your fingers, greater than or less than? 2 tens is greater than or less than 1 10? I see ones. I agree, it's greater than. Greater than 1 10. 21 is greater than or less than 12. 21 is greater than or less than 12. Interesting. I'm seeing some ones and some twos. Can someone defend their answer why they think that 21 is either greater than or less than 12? Can someone defend their answer? Emma, what do you think?
Because it says 2 tens is greater than 1 10, and 21 has 2 tens and 1 10.
I agree. So we know that 21 is greater than 12. This is where the new information comes in. Hey Rory, can you just sit flat on the carpet? Thank you. This is where the new information comes in, so eyes up on the board. We write a symbol that looks like this to say 21 is greater than 12. Let's talk a little bit more about this symbol. We like to think of these symbols as alligators, okay? Because this reminds me of the mouth of an alligator. And these alligators are really hungry, and they want to eat the bigger number, okay? Now, these signs are also different because this alligator is facing this way and this alligator is facing that way. So this sign means less than, because just like when we're reading a book, we read left to right. So if there's a number here, say 1, I would say 1 is less than 2. But this sign means greater than, because when we read left to right, I might say 3 is greater than 2. Okay? The next thing I'd like to share with you is a song that's going to help us remember those two signs. Are you ready for the song?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was an alligator living in the swamp. Sneak up on numbers and start to chomp. Whenever two numbers sat on the ground, she faced the bigger one and gobbled it down. When there are two numbers that are the same, the gator changes form and she swaps her name because she isn't sure exactly how to dime. She stands right in the middle as an equal sign. Number gators like to eat what's greater. They turn their backs on what is less. Their mouths open wide for a bigger side, and they munch down the whole great mess.
Hey, that was a
Songs,
quick
games, and
little
original
song
stories. Visit Brainsy.com.
to help us remember greater or less than. We also have a little game that I'd like to do with you, where you will be able to come up one by one. And this game, it only has a few questions, so I'll have to restart it so that you all can have one turn.
Let's compare numbers in the swamp. Use the alligator symbols to show which side has more. This means less than. This means greater than. This means equal to.
All right, so let's actually, I'm gonna call you up one by one, and I'm just gonna kind of snake my way around. Everyone will get a turn.
Pick the correct symbol to compare
So,
the values.
Rory, come on up, and you're gonna click which one you think is right.
Pick the correct symbol to compare the values.
Keeps reminding us the same direction. So do you think 3 is less than 3, 3 is greater than 3, or 3 is equal to
Pick
3?
the correct symbol to compare the values.
Okay,
Just
click it.
tap it.
Oh, let's see. I'm wondering if we're having a little bit of computer trouble. Come over to my laptop and click it on here. Just press that. Oh, I think we have to drag it. Okay. There we go.
3 is equal to 3.
Great job. Thanks for being my first volunteer. Emma, come on up. You don't actually have to raise your hand because I'm going to get to all of you. Emma, what do you think? Come to my laptop.
Pick the correct symbol to compare the
Remember,
values.
the alligator eats the bigger one or the greater number.
Turn the sound off.
Like that.
Pick the correct symbol to compare the values.
Like it. And then drag it over. There you go. Yep. Keep clicking.
Pick the correct symbol to compare the values.
Oops.
Hey, what? Tap it in.
11 is less than 13.
Really?
Just want to try one thing for a second. Okay, it does move. So what you're going to do is put your finger on which one you think it is, and you're going to drag it up
Pick
to
the
the
correct
spotlight.
symbol to
Okay?
compare the
Lily O'Toole.
values. 9 is greater than 1.
I like that part.
Eva. Alligator eats the greater number.
Pick the correct symbol to compare the values.
Why
Just in
did you
case
turn
you
the
forgot.
sound off? Just in
Because we like the chomping noise.
4 is less than 10.
This is so weird.
Christopher.
You
Give
did
it a
it.
restart.
Catch you later, alligator. Let's compare numbers
get a
This
lot of
means
reminders
greater
about
than.
this.
This means equal to.
By the end of this, I think you're going to know the signs. Right?
12 is less than 16.
So Lisa,
Her eyes are closed.
we kind of have a wink and the one with its mouth open like the equal sign. Is
19 is greater than 16.
The number moves
Sawyer?
into its mouth.
It's almost like it wants to eat.
What happens if you get it wrong? Yum, 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 yum,
I think it just as you try again.
3 is
Can you
greater
see what
than
happened?
1.
Can I use that? It moves into its mouth.
Ego, come on up.
No equal. Yes, there is. Right here, that's the equal sign.
Pick the correct symbol to compare the values.
No,
4 is greater than 2.
4 too. No.
Great job. Take a seat. We did it.
You did it.
Can we do it again?
Okay. We're moving on to the rest of our lesson, and then I'll explain our activity and our workbook pages. Now that we know, oh, can you sit up, please? Thank you. I know we've been singing for a while. We're almost done. Now that we know the signs, which sign are we going to use to compare these two numbers? Lily?
We gotta use.
Are we going to use this one or that one?
This.
We're going to use, so the alligator mouth is going to point to the 34?
No.
No? Okay. I like your correction. The alligator mouth is going to point to the 43. And we're going to read this left to right saying 43 is greater than 34. Can you say that with me? 43 is greater than 34. Good. Next one. Which way? Which one? This symbol or this symbol? Christopher?
This one?
Okay. The alligator is going to eat the 78, so we can say together 69 is less than 78. Let's say it one more time. I don't think I heard everyone saying it.
69 is less
69 is less than
70.
Great job. Okay. Who can tell me and read it as if it was a sentence? So you don't actually have to point at these signs. I'll know exactly what you say if you say is greater than or is less than Okay. Let's try it out. Vigo?
35 is greater than 32.
Fabulous. Can you two sit up, please? Eva, can you do this one?
Is less than, 29 is less than 37.
Fabulous. This one? Lori?
47 is less than 50.
And last one? Lily O'Toole?
50 is greater than 49.
Great job. Okay, this is going to explain your activity that you have. You're going to get a paper that looks just like this. Can you sit up once again? This is my, I've given you a few warnings. Please sit up. Okay, you're going to get a sheet that looks like this, and you're going to roll some dice. Now, I'm just going to pretend to roll dice for our example. Okay? So I'm rolling some dice, and I got 9 for my 10s, and I got 2 for my 1s. I'm going to roll them again. And I'm going to roll, and I got 6 for my 10s, and I got 3 for my 1s. What are my 2 numbers together? 9 10s and 2 1s is what number? Christopher?
92.
And what number is 6 10s and 3 1s? Lily, sing?
63.
So, this is where I have to figure out which goes where. What's going to go here? Which number? Lori, can you sit up, please? which number is going to go here? Emma, what do you think? 63, which means 92 is going to have to go here. Now on the back side of the paper, you're going to be given a picture and you're going to be given some blanks. Okay? The circle represents the symbol that you are going to use, either the greater than, the less than, or the equal to sign. I don't believe that there are any equal to problems on that back page. So you're going to choose either greater than or less than. So Ava, can you tell me how many numbers, what number does this represent? 10 and 2 ones?
12.
What number does this represent? Vigo? 23. Sawyer, can you tell me, read this as a sentence, am I going to have a greater than or a less than sign? 12 is less than.
23.
Good, can you read that whole sentence to me?
12 is less than 23.
Fabulous. Okay. We also have some workbook pages, so can you point your bodies, arrange your bodies so that you can see the easel. Ava and Rory, please come closer. Sawyer, come on closer. So, it says circle the greater number. So for this, you're going to circle, you're going to determine if 43 is greater or if 50 is greater, and you're going to circle it. Same with each of these numbers. This section says circle the greatest number, so you're going to pick one. That's the greatest. 25. Now we're working with smaller. So this is greater and greatest. Now we're working with smaller and smallest. This page says arrange the numbers in order. Begin with the smallest. So you're going to take the numbers in the bag and you're going to decide smallest to largest. Now you're going to take the numbers in this bag and go from greatest to least or smallest. You're going to put the symbols in here to compare the numbers. Christopher?
For greatest, you start here.
Yep.
Smallest.
Yep. Okay. This says begin, write the numbers in order. Begin with the given number. So you're going to look at these numbers that are given and you're going to continue writing them smallest to largest or largest to smallest, depending on what number it starts with. Okay. Then you're going to answer these questions. So you are going to have to do a little bit of reading. Questions about this? Lily?
What if you didn't have time to do the pages yesterday?
I'm going to have you do these first, since today's lesson was about that, and then I can see if I can catch you up on the other pages. Okay? All right, I'm going to give you each some dice. The red, actually some of them might not be red. The white dice is going to be your ones. Actually, come over here. The white dice is going to be your ones, and take a seat. Thank you. The white dice is going to be your ones. Ava, take a seat. The white dice is going to be your ones. The wooden dice is going to be your tens. So, when I was showing you that other slide, this one, where you're rolling, the wooden dice is going to represent your tens. Your regular dice is going to represent your ones.
We have to draw the
No drawing, just this.
But I still don't get it because if the numbers are here with the two, then why do you have to roll the dice?
Oh, this is just the title page, the title part. That you don't have to worry about. It was just giving you a picture. Okay. All right, so let me see. I put the worksheets right here. There's one other thing I want to do. Hang on. There's one other thing I want to do, because if you happen to have free time, I would like you to practice the greater than less than. This is not a challenging game because there's not a lot of directions. You get a piece of paper. You're going to circle if it's more than, less than, or the same as. And you're going to get one of these cards. So I have to decide 12 minus 5 is what? Raise your hand and tell me. Christopher?
7.
Yeah. So I'm going to write 7 here. And then I'm going to flip to the next one. What's 14 minus 8? It's a little bit more tricky. Emma? You can try counting up, starting at 8. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I agree. 6. So we said that 7 was here, right, Christopher? And 6 was here. So I would circle 7 is more than 6. Okay? I'm not sure we're going to have time to play this today, but we will when we get back from the weekend. Okay? Questions about workbook, activity, or this game? I know there's a lot of directions. Go. You may go to your seat. Remember, one person per desk. Where's that? Lily.
Guys.
Everyone's gonna get one, don't worry. Rory. Lily.
I can also bring this to
Christopher. Hugo.
It's so hard to remember what the dice is for.
Wooden dice, I'll write it up on the board. Wood dice is the 10s.